Okay, so this is my fourth knife made out of a file. And as you can see, it looks pretty crisp. This was a very well-made knife, I think. The sharpest knife I've ever made, and later on in the video I'll show you how sharp it is. But I made a series of tutorials on this knife and how to make this knife. I have 6 videos, and I just started out with just a regular file like this, and ground and did all the hard grinding, and then ended up with a knife. As you can see, it always amazes me how I can start off with just an old crappy file like this and end up with a really nice knife. But this is actually the other piece of that file for this knife. This knife is made out of a file, like I said, and this is the other piece too. This is the end piece to that file. So as you can see, the grain on one side fits the grain on this file. So I always keep that little grain on the back to show people that it actually is made out of a file, and because most people are like, oh, you didn't make that knife, you bought that knife, and I'm like, no, I made it. But most people can't really believe it. It is hard to believe. Sometimes I can't even believe myself that I can make a knife that looks that good out of just a file like that, but around 60 hours that'll get you there. So this is my file work design on the top. It's kind of hard to see because it's very shiny, so the camera is hard to see it, but it actually says a date. It says the 2nd or February XXIX, which means 29, and that says MMVIII, which is 2008, and the other stuff is just design. And I have my logo on there, which is a fish. And this handle was a different design than my other handles. My usual design is like this, and this is like a classic, knife handle design. You guys probably seen this before, but I had to change it up a little bit. I was thinking of different designs and how I could change it, but I thought of this, and that really fit this knife very well, I thought, and is very symmetrical. So I chose this design, and this handle is actually a thing in and of itself. This handle has I think it has 23 layers. The cowbone 1, the piece of leather 2, 3 pieces of brass, 1 piece of leather, 1 piece of copper, 2 pieces of blue space material, 1 piece of copper, 1 piece of black and white ebony, or otherwise called zebra wood, 1 piece of copper, 1 piece of blue space material, a piece of copper, a piece of red wood, a piece of copper, a piece of blue space material, the black and white ebony again, copper, 2 pieces of spacing material, copper, leather, and goat horn. And that's in the handle. And that's my most elaborately stacked handle I've ever made. And I think it looks very well. It fits the knife well because it's like looking more like a modern knife. And I really like this handle design altogether. But this is the sheath I made for this knife. I'm actually selling this knife, and this sheath really fits the knife well, I think, too. I mean, I'm not really a sheath maker, I'm a knife maker, but I don't know, it turned out pretty well. I think it fits the knife good. I'll put it in, you can see. Okay, you see. Yeah, it fits the knife very well. The knife just sits above, and I want it to be like it sits right, the buckle sits right in the middle, so the handle is very displayed, because I really like this handle, so I crafted the sheath to accommodate the handle. So that's the sheath and the handle, and yeah, there's my original designs, like I said. the sheath design. Here's the sheath stencils and that kind of stuff. But I'll take this out. Yeah, but this was a nice knife, and I was actually in the middle. I was gonna make this knife out of a rasp, but halfway through the process, the knife that I was making out of a rasp got put in a box of throwaway items and got thrown away. So I didn't have that knife, and I was actually almost done. Within 5 days, the whole knife would have been done, but it got thrown away. And this was actually the piece of that original rasp, and the knife really looked good because it had the little triangle markings. After I ground it down, it had the little triangle markings and the file markings, and it looked really good. But yeah, I lost that one. So now I'll show you how sharp the knife is with a series of 3 tests. The first test is the paper cutting test, the old-fashioned paper cutting test, which I usually don't use because it dulls the blade, but I'll do it real quick just for you guys. And then I'm going to do the leather cutting test, which I heard most people use because it's not as harmful on the blade. And then I'll do the shaving the arm test, so you can see how sharp the knife really is. So I'll do those tests, and then that'll be the end of the showcase of this knife. Okay, so this is the paper cutting test. And as you see, I'm not going slow and cutting through it like that. I'm just ripping through like that real quick. That's how sharp it is. Yep, doesn't take much, and I'll show you. My knife just cuts through it like butter. Not even a chance. And see, it's just just cuts through. I don't want to cut. Okay, and so finally the hair shaving test. I'll just do it right here. And as you can see, the test shaved the hair off your arms.